Hi, my name is Kat, or a Fairy Librarian, and welcome to a vlog. It is Thursday. I just saw that I got my 50th subscriber, and I'm so happy about it. I'm still a little giddy. I know that 50 is not a lot compared to some people, but I'm really happy with this, and I'm gonna celebrate this. So, yay! But I thought let's just start the vlog now. So I'll show you what I'm reading. I am still slowly but surely working my way through the Mistletoe Bride and Other Haunting Tales. It's a short story collection that I'm just dipping in and out of whenever I feel like it. I am trying to go a little faster in this because I've been doing this for a really long time, but yeah, I don't think I'll be finishing it this week, but I would like to read at least like 2, maybe 3 stories in this during this week. Then I am also listening to an audiobook, which is The Fire Prophecy by Linski and Alicia Rades, that I'm really loving and really enjoying. But I don't know how much of that I'm going to be listening to this week. It'll mostly be while I'm doing chores and like cleaning, cooking, that sort of stuff, rather than like specifically making time to listen to that, because I have just a lot of stuff to do and I would like to focus on one of the physical books, which is actually the next one I'm going to talk about. But so yeah, I don't know how much I'm going to be reading that, because it's going to be during times that I have to do stuff anyway. I might as well listen to a book rather than, like, I'm not going to be, like, currently it's on the plans to, like, do a puzzle or color a bit while I then listen to the audiobook. So I'll listen to a little bit more, but not much, because I'm going to focus this week on The Will of the Many by James Islington. I started this at the end of his last vlog. I am 3 chapters in, so not far, and I would like to finish it this week. Is going to be too ambitious, but at least get like a serious, like at least over halfway this week, that I can finish it next week. And I am really enjoying it, so I think that'll be possible. So yeah, I really like this. It is an adult fantasy where you have will, that sort of, it's a hierarchy where you give your will, which is like physical strength, energy, mental capacity, whatever, to the people above you in the hierarchy. So it's like a pyramid scheme. And we have Viz, who wants to destroy it in a physical setting. And it's quite dark, or at least it starts out quite dark, but I am really enjoying it. And I've heard that it becomes less that once we get to the school setting. So I'm really curious, and I'm going to be mostly focusing on this. I will probably read a little bit more of Bookshops and Bonedust, just because I'm going away for the weekend, and just this is quite chunky and heavy to take with me, so I'm going to just be bringing my e-reader. So if I'm doing any reading on that weekend, it'll be Bookshops and Bonedust, and I expect to do at least some reading. Maybe not, who knows. I don't know how busy it will be, but so I like, some more reading of this might happen. I'm now 10% in, but this is not my main priority. So the biggest goal is at least halfway through this, and like 2, maybe 3 short stories in this, And then if it happens to be an occasion where I can read Bookshops and Bonedusts or The Fire Prophecy, I will do that. But that is not something that I'm too worried about. For this week, if I can start another book, like if I get to a point where I finish The Will of the Many and I am able to start another book, that would be freaking awesome. But I don't think that's going to be realistic. So we'll see. I have class in half an hour, but I'm free this evening. I'm probably going to do a bit more work because I got behind on schedule this week. So I don't have the entire evening to read, but I do have a big portion of the evening to read. So I'm going to do that. And yeah, that's it. I'll talk to you when I have an update. Bye. Well, hello there. It is Friday, and I have updates. So, first of all, I read a little bit more of The Will of the Many. I am now a fifth of the way through, and I upgraded to an actual bookmark instead of just a random receipt I had lying around. So, yay. And I'm really enjoying this. It's very readable. Like I mean, like the time spent per page does take me a little while because it is adult fantasy and in English, which I don't read it super fast. But like I don't notice time passing by whenever I'm reading this. I'm just get sucked into the story and I want to keep going. So that's really nice. I like Viz as a main character, or Weiss as a main character. He's very intelligent and he figures things out. And he's in a position where he can't really trust people and he's on his own. And we have a lot of different like sides who want to use him for their own gain. And he has to go along with them to a certain extent because they're threatening to do things to him if he doesn't, but then he can't go so far that then he, like the other parties, he's not fulfilling their deal with them, and then also he wants to keep his own like morality and his own decisions, and he doesn't want to be part of a lot of things that the other ones are doing, and so I think it's really interesting. In that regard, I'm really liking it. It is like the first chapter was definitely the darkest one. After that, it got better. Like it is still like a very brutal world, and people are taking advantage of each other, which is like part of the law with like this hierarchical system that people who are high up in the hierarchy can just take advantage of people who are lower than them, and people lower than them have to go along with that. And so we have yeah, a pretty brutal world in here, but I am really really enjoying it. So yeah, I also made it a quarter of the way into the Fire Prophecy, which is the audiobook that I'm reading. And I'm really liking it. We got to the school, and just like typical school stuff, with like the bully there and whatever are happening. It feels so Harry Potter to school, but like in a good way. Just very, yeah, I don't know. It's very, very familiar and nostalgic in that regard, like just the way the school works and stuff. But it's not like the book feels derivative or anything. It's still its own thing, but it has a similar feel to it. And probably took some inspiration. There are going to be trials that have been like, or we're learning that it's a thing, because we have the Elementi, and they bond with these animals called, like, their familiars. And in the year that they bond with their familiar, at the end of the year, there's like a big tournament that they have to participate in. And if they lose, then they die. Or like, there are casualties every year. So I like myself a good trial and a good tournament, like magical tournament type thing. So I'm really excited for that. We haven't gotten to that part yet, but it's just been like, we just learned that as a thing in this world. And so, yeah, I'm really excited to get to that. Yeah, it's very grumpy sunshine. And Sophia, the female main character, is just so like in love and awestruck by everything she sees in this magical world, because like she is raised as a human, or like she always thought that she was a human, and suddenly this world opens for her, and people are like, oh my god, you're working like a child. Stop staring at stuff, because they're used to it. They've lived in like the magical site their entire life. But she's just wow. So I think that's really, I like that. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that audiobook. Those are the reading updates. I did go to the library because, so I'm participating in Realmathon, and if you don't know, within Realmathon there is also this 48-hour readathon where every book you read during that weekend you get extra points for. So I'm just getting, like, I saved some shorter books that I wanted to read anyway for that weekend, but I just went to the library and I got a few more that I had been wanting to read for a while, and I thought, just like, why not now? Because that way I can just get through a bunch of shorter books and get points for them. So I have 2 picture books. I have The Unicorn That Said No, which is about a really grumpy unicorn who says no to everything. And just look at him, like, look how grumpy he is, and like, oh, he's so cute. He's so cute. And then I also got The Companion, which isn't out yet in English, but the original title, which is in German, is Das Neinhorn und die Slangeweile. And like, it doesn't translate in English, but like Das Neinhorn, which is the title of the first book, and it also has one. They're all puns, and just the puns are great, and I love it, and I think it's gonna be so much fun, and I'll probably get to it pretty quickly because, you know, they're really short. They're picture books. Yeah. And just, it looks so cute. I'm so excited to read these. So yeah, I've got these 2. Then I also got a novella, which is Hex by Jenni Fagan, which is about a witch who, like, you know, like the witch trials, and she's sentenced to death because she's a witch. It's set in 1591, and so she's waiting like imprisoned to like in order to receive her sentence. And then suddenly this witch from the future, or at least the future for her, arrives, and they talk about how in the future still women are like not safe and are being prosecuted for or persecuted for who they are and what they believe. And so, yeah, it's like a feminist work. I've heard good things. Also, we have a blue cover. We have a bird. So it's going to be some nice points for team creation. So yeah, I've been wanting to read this for a little while. So yeah, why not? And then finally, I have The Patient by Jasper DeWitt, which this one is a little bit longer than the rest. It's like over 200 pages. It's 220, and this is a thriller, I believe, or it could be a horror, but I think it's a thriller, about this psychiatrist who hears about this patient that no one wants to treat because they're scared to go like to his like he's in a psychiatric. The patient is in a psychiatric, whatever that word is, hospital, and he's in isolation, but no one wants to enter like the room because they're all scared of him. And so we have some blog posts. So yeah, we have like doctors who've been trying to treat him who like lost their minds or committed suicide. So yeah, I think it is longer, but I think it's going to be pretty quickly. It's written in like blog posts. And yeah, I think that I'm gonna fly through this. So that's like, those are the 4 books I got. I got to the maximum amount of items that I can borrow from the library, which is 15. So I have 15 things checked out right now, which is kind of insane. But, well, what do we do about it? Return a few of them, but I'm gonna read them first. So, yeah, that is the update for now. I'm saving these, as I said, for the Peace Weekend. I also had 2 others that I've been wanting to read, that I had planned to read this month, that I also am saving for that weekend, which is The Empress of Salt and Fortune by Niveau, and I keep forgetting the English title, but it's the 2nd album in the Castle in the Stars series, which is a comic, so that's also going to be really quick. And then, you know, if I get through all of this in a weekend and I still have time left, I'll probably start like an ebook or something. I'll find something, see what's ebooks from the library are available. They're short. So yeah, that was the update. I will talk to you again when I have more. Bye. Hi, it's Monday evening and I have some updates. So I read 2 more short stories in The Mistletoe Bride and Other Haunting Tales. The first one was The Revenant, which left my brain pretty quickly, and my experience wasn't the greatest, but I think that is not necessarily the story's fault. Usually I like to read short stories in one go because they are so short, but for this one I got interrupted a few times, and I think that did impact my enjoyment of it. And so because of that, I do think a little bit more negatively about it. Like, I could barely tell you what happened in it. Like, it was about the main character who saw this person outside, and she didn't know, like, this young woman outside, and she didn't know who she was. And I don't know. I know what the ending was, but I'm not going to spoil it. But yeah, I think that the interruptions didn't really help with that one. So, um, mm. And then I just finished on Harding Hill, which is about a man who is driving, and he sees this girl who is all by herself by the side of the road, and there's not really like it's a little bit in the middle of nowhere. Like there is a town that is not too far, but it's like not. It's odd that she's there on her own. I did like the story. Um, yeah, I like the atmosphere and the sort of the sense of dread we got from this girl because she's a little weird. So yeah, that was a story that I really enjoyed. I have now 3 stories and a play left. So I'll probably, I will finish this before the end of the month, which was the goal. So I'm happy about that. Then during the weekend, I read a little more of Bookshops and Bonedust. I got to about 20%. And I am liking it, but you can tell that it is a prequel, just in the way the pacing goes. The character isn't necessarily introduced like she would be in like a standalone or in a book 1 of a series, which I don't mind, but it's something that needs adjusting to. So yeah, other than that, it's like a very slow slice of life type of story, so I don't know how much I can tell you, but I am enjoying it, but I'm not loving it. I mean, I've heard from people that it wasn't as good as Legends and Lattes. So I think that I will like Legends and Lattes more. I'm just this one of it's fine. So yeah, we started the bookshop renovation stuff, getting the business back on its feet type plot line. So I think once that gets more going, I think I'll like it more, because that's helping a business, a struggling business, or building a business is something that I do really enjoy. It's a trope I really like. So yeah, I think once that gets going a little more, I will really, really start to like this and want to read it more than I am now, because it's a story that I'm not hating, but it's not one that I'm rushing to pick up again. So that's Bookshops and Bonedust. And then I also read more of The Will of the Many. I'm now a quarter of the way through. I am enjoying this, but I would like just a little bit more of the world building. We have some explanation, but there are certain things that probably make sense, but we don't have enough information for my mind to fully make sense of the thing. For example, we have a quintus, so we have 8 ranks in society, and a quintus is the 5th of the 8, but it's really high prestige apparently. And I'm is it because this is an area where there are just is this countryside area where there aren't a lot of people with high prestige, so the quintus is really high? Or is it really high and it's just the top 4 is really few people that the quinti are also really, I don't know. This is the thing I'm struggling with. It's stuff like that I would like a little bit more information on, just to fully understand it. But I am liking it. So far we haven't gotten to the academy yet. I'm hoping that that is not going to take too much longer, because I'm really forward to that school setting and to get to that part. But yeah, I'm gonna read more tonight. I'm actually currently following some reading sprints. So I'm hoping to get halfway through. That might be over ambitious. But if I can get to page 300, that'd be really cool. So yeah, we're gonna try. I'm gonna read now to get to that goal, and I will talk to you when I have more. Bye. Hi, it is still Monday evening, but I finished part 1 of The Will of the Many, which means that I'm about a third of the way through, and I'm really enjoying this. I like Fizz as the main character. He is a bit like the typical fantasy protagonist, who's like really special and stuff like that. But I don't mind that. I'm reading this for a book club, and some people in the chat were calling him like a bit of a Gary Stu, a little like Gavoth in The Name of the Wind. And while I can see where they're coming from, at this point in the book, I don't fully agree with that. Maybe like they're further along than I am. Maybe there are going to be instances that I'm like, okay, yeah, he is kind of a Gary Stu. But at this point, I don't think that he's just good at everything because he's good at it. Which is a bit of an essential thing. Like he's definitely like talented and doing extraordinary things for this world, and not like the typical progress that people are making. But I don't think that he's good at everything for no reason. At this point in the book, maybe it'll come. I don't know. The pacing in this is a little. I don't know how to say it because every word that I can think of to describe it sounds too negative, but it's a little unusual or a little weird, because there were some moments that like we go faster and slower, like really it changes a lot. Some parts are really detailed and like, you know, like described and shown very well, and then suddenly we have 2 months passed and I'm like, oh okay, we're doing this now, which again, the way I can't think of a way to say this without it sounding negative, but I don't mean it in a negative way. I do like it. I do like the pacing of this. It makes it move along very quickly because we do get those moments where things are shown, and we get these moments that are slower and that I do want to see, but we don't, like, it does move along pretty quickly, which makes this a very quick, it's not the right word, but like I get sucked into it really well, and whenever I'm reading this, time just doesn't exist anymore, and I just read. And I'm so into it, and I want to keep going, even if like the amount of time it takes me per page is like, there are books where that time is a bit shorter. But yeah, I get through this so fast because I want to keep reading, more than I have with a lot of other books. The end of part 1, like at the very end, it is Viz like leaving for the academy, so I assume that part 2 is going to start with him arriving there, and the rest of the book is going to be him at the academy, which I'm really excited for. I've been looking forward to this part and to see him at the academy, so I'm happy about that. What else? There has been some intense moments already in this book, and oof, things that I didn't see coming. So yeah, I don't really know where this, like, it's one of those books where I just don't know what's gonna happen next. Like, I do like the twists and turns that have happened so far, and I assume they're really gonna continue to be that, and yeah, I'm really excited to continue reading, which is what I'm gonna do now. Bye, I guess. Hi. It's Wednesday morning now, and life has been hectic. Between uni work and, like, I'm also in a play, which is taking quite a bit of my time right now. It's a lot. But yesterday evening, we had, like, I mean, the actual play is near the end of April, but there's going to be a teaser tomorrow, and so yesterday we had, like, the big rehearsal. It's not a very long teaser, like, it's like 2 minutes, so it's not, like, too hard to learn, and it's not like we've been working on it for weeks, but that was yesterday. And that was pretty late, because it's for a theater festival here, like with the university and just different groups of the university doing a play, and then there are prizes and whatever. But, like, tomorrow's gonna be one night, it's gonna be opening night, of, like, the whole festival, and then we're gonna play the teasers, like everyone is going to, so we could rehearse in the, like, where we would perform it, but obviously, like, you can't all do it at the same time, and we were last yesterday. So it was pretty late when I got back, and so I woke up later than I normally like to do this morning. And then today I'm not gonna be home very much because I'm gonna go to Brussels for the like the Royal Library, which is a big archive, and there are also a lot of manuscripts of ancient texts, and I'm gonna be working on one of those today. My train leaves in about an hour and a half, so that leaves me with not much, like, not much real work that I can do, because that's not too long, and, you know, I need to get to the station and get ready and everything, so it's less than an hour and a half. So what I think I'm gonna do is study some vocabulary, because, you know, that doesn't take too long, and also doesn't take too much of my brain, because I think I'm gonna need it today, because it is a manuscript from the 9th century, which means that, you know, sometimes it's a little harder to read for the modern eye. So I'm gonna do that, and when I'm done with that, I'm just gonna read some more. I said on Monday that my goal was to get halfway. I didn't quite get there, but I'm not going to get there today either, probably. Well, maybe if I get back, I can see how much brain power I have left to do some actual work because I'm behind on so much. Or whether I just wanna, I'm just dead and like the only thing I can do is sit down and read. So we'll see about that. So maybe I'll get halfway tonight. Who knows? But I'm not gonna count on it. But that's not gonna be in this vlog anymore. Because I'm gonna end the vlog here, wrap it up. So in the vlog, I read some of the Will of the Many, or like quite a decent chunk of the Will of the Many. I read a few short stories in the Mistletoe Bride, and I started Bookshops and Bonedust, and I think that's all I read in this vlog. So yeah, I'm hoping that I can finish this. That's not gonna happen. I wanted to say I hope that I can finish it before this weekend, but that's not gonna happen. So yeah, I'm gonna have to continue it next week, which is a little sad, but you know what? It is what it is. So, yeah, this was the vlog. I hope you enjoyed. And I will see you very soon in another video. Bye.